The boss of the British gas owner Centrica, who earlier this year here on Breakfast said that his salary was impossible to justify, has seen his pay rise again by almost £4 million a year. Soaring profits mean that Chris O'Shea's total income was more than £8 million last year, as our correspondent Sophie Long reports.
We produce gas, we store gas, we produce electricity, we store
Back in January, before he got his rather hefty hike, Chris O'Shea sat on the breakfast sofa and accepted that the £4.5 million he earned in 2022 was a huge amount of money, and told us his salary was, quite simply, impossible to justify.
It's a huge amount of money. I am incredibly fortunate. I don't set my own pay, that's set by a remuneration committee. That's the first bonus that I'd taken in my time in Centrica. In a number of years I'd given up bonuses because of hardships that customers were facing. I thought it was right that we put a lot of our money, a lot of our profits into supporting customers. But you can't justify a salary of that size.
Can you say that again?
You cannot.
You can't justify.
Well, you can, because it's a huge amount of money to anybody looking at this. It's a huge amount of money.
Well, in 2023, according to the company's annual report, Mr O'Shea earned almost double what he did the year before, a total of £8.2 million. That consisted of a salary of £810,000, plus £1.4 million in annual bonus, and another £5.9 million in long-term bonus, pension and benefits, the bulk of which was linked to the company's share price, which has more than doubled. Centrica did attempt to justify his ballooning bonus, saying the sum appropriately reflects the performance of both Chris O'Shea and the business over the relevant period. But according to one organisation focused on the causes and consequences of economic inequality, his pay package highlights the enormous contrast between the super-rich and the normal folk who continue to struggle with the cost of living.
Mr O'Shea himself has admitted that even when his pay was barely half this size, it was impossible to justify. The work he does is nothing like proportionate to such an enormous payout. And it's indicative of a corporate pay culture across Britain that makes us all poorer. If big companies were putting the millions they lavish on executives and investors into the pay of ordinary workers or into innovation and productivity, UK living standards would be a lot higher.
Centrica says it spent at least £140 million on supporting customers struggling to pay their bills. Sophie Long, BBC News.